Good. We're on track again. All right.
Gosh. I'm so tired.
We're
Okay.
good. We're good.
So the question was, well, that we were talking about that I want to ask you is you get on social media or you get on the news.
Redo.
No, just
Redo.
keep going. I'm tired of redoing. Kids need lunch and somebody needs a nap. Have fun with the kids while I take a nap.
It's me.
No,
I need a
so
nap.
the question is, so you get on social media or you get on the news right now or you get, and there's all this intake, right, of stuff coming in. The news can't make up their mind what the virus is doing. Neither can the governors, neither can the president, neither can anybody. One day it's one thing it's next. So then you switch over and you're like, oh, let's see what my friends are doing. And it's like, dang it, they're like camping and doing arts and crafts and hiking. And I'm not doing that. Mostly because I have a 3-year-old. But sometimes it's, and we went hiking yesterday and it was good. But so then sometimes that can't be helpful either. And so how do you kind of watch what you're intaking into your brain right now during this time?
Yeah.
And how do you kind of monitor that and set boundaries with it so that because I ran into the problem, I was like, I'm just not going to get on Facebook because I'm not worried about losing 30 pounds in quarantine. And I don't really care what a Pinterest mom is doing. But then I got on Facebook for a week and then realized I missed a whole bunch of stuff for my calling that probably would have been good. We belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I have a calling where I serve kids and help with them and teach them, and I missed a whole bunch of stuff because then I stayed off. So where's boundaries with, I guess I'm saying phone because that's
well,
where we're getting a lot of our information right now. That's where we always are, but
yeah. So trying to figure out what would be the exact line. I want to be careful with this because at the same time, you're right. What works for me or what works for somebody else would not necessarily be the same formula for everyone. So it's not as simple as saying, everybody take this off your phone and only use your phone for this much time. You'll notice, we don't really have that. But I think it's pretty easy to say, most of you could answer really quickly, hey, is my spouse annoyed with how much I use my phone? Right? That one, on it, quick, easy one to answer. There's other ones as well. We could go into that too far today.
New question.
It starts to be, right, a pretty quick, we'd say even setting of boundaries to say, hey, even recognizing, you mentioned the feeling like, well, I should have, you watch, if you're seeing something or feeling like, oh, well, why didn't I do this? I should have done this. I'm going to have to do that to match this, compared to this, or to kind of resolve all this, newfound anxiety that I have. Really, the stuff that we intake, if we notice it's increasing that anxiety, increasing that stress, then that's where, if you're doing that inventory, like what's coming into my life and do I want it in my life or do I not? You're not going to want it if it's increasing, anxiety, anger, stress, distance with your relationships because, you're spending too much time on it. Then you got to set a line, set a boundary and go, okay, let's try this. And even shoot for the next week. Do something like, hey, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to set, I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to let my phone charge in another room so I'm not constantly looking at it or picking it up. I know some people will say things like, I'm not going to watch, I'm not going to check media or phone or anything after a certain amount of time, so that they've got time to kind of let your mind wind down before bed. It could be any of those. But setting a boundary there and a line to say, all right, what am I getting what I want out of what I'm taking into my life? And if you realize, no, I'm not, then that's where you move that boundary to, let's be intaking the stuff that really benefits that I want to have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that. Good job.